A blind knight that uses echolocation, viewing the dark, treacherous world through sound. Trapped in a dungeon keep, endangered by combatants, where hazards lurk around every corner. Make sound to have vision, or don't and be stealthy. Avoid impaling threats throughout the dungeon to escape. Engage with other prisoners.
Rogue Knight I've been hearing about. Could you find the key and unlock my cell?
Free them to fight back with more allies.
Let's take this guy.
The Dungeon Labyrinth has many paths and even more traps. Struggle through the darkness to find your freedom.
When Alex became a god, he thought he would have no problems at all. Until... He landed in the Divine Dimension and was tasked with protecting the entire multiverse.
Am I connected to every single Alex Ambrose that ever existed?
Alex could travel across dimensions, defying the laws of time and space, to help other Alexes throughout the multiverse. But then everything changed.
No! Aw!
I have to go back and save them.
But if Alex went back to the mortal world, he would relinquish all of his power and his memories.
I don't have a choice. I must go back.
When Alex returned back to Earth, he goes back to being your average business tycoon millionaire, unaware that the people he cared most about are in danger.
Someone help me!
Yvonne, what happened?
I was attacked by a monster. Alex? What's going on? Get away from him! He is my boyfriend!
Who attacked Yvonne in the forest? What will Debbie do next? Who will Alex choose between the two women? Will Alex ever remember who he was before traveling into a different multiverse? To hear what happens next and whether Alex can stop the deranged monster before he strikes again, listen to the original audio drama, Insta Millionaire Returns, only on Pocket FM. Download the app now and find out.
Presentation.
This is the Daredevil series finale from Worldwide Technology Raceway, only on Turn 200.
One more race to close it out. Season 5, the final round. Round number 10 tonight from Worldwide Technology Raceway, a.k.a. Gateway, a.k.a. Turn 200 headquarters here in Madison, Illinois. It's the home track here tonight to wrap up the celebration of the Daredevil season number 5. It's Tommy Cook, it's Matt Williamson, and it's Ashton Crowder hanging out with you here tonight in Booth 200 as well. Hello, gentlemen. Hello. We'll start with the Illinoisan, as this is once again your home track, whether you want it to be or not. Matt, welcome back to Gateway.
Yeah, good to be back at the now current, again, home track for me here. Honestly, it never was before they shut down Chicagoland, so it is a new home track for me, to be quite honest. But it's a great facility, and it puts on some spectacular Daredevil racing. That is why it is the championship race here this season. And we have some interesting scenarios that would have to play out, but we'll get to those a little bit later.
And hello to Ashton Crowder, going to be running some numbers for us here tonight, but also going to be providing, as usual, some very poignant and sterling commentary on what these drivers are doing. You've gotten some experience out on the track with the Daredevils here this season. This is an interesting challenge for all of these drivers here tonight. How are you feeling getting to watch from up high?
Feeling better than I would be if I was racing. Yeah, I'm not good enough to be in here tonight. So, yeah, you guys adopted me up in the booth, so very appreciative of that.
Well, you'll get to look on to what in the past has been a very good race. Only 1 points-paying race here in the past with the Daredevil Series, all the way back in Season 2, but it was an absolute banger. We'll be on for that here tonight. Who's to say? But we got a minute and a half left to go in qualifying, and there is a championship to be won here tonight, Matt Williamson. And it is going to be an uphill battle, pun intended, for one driver.
It certainly is, and the uphill battle is going to be for the Hill man himself, Christopher Hill. He is in a literal must-win scenario. He has to win this race to win the championship, but he not only has to win the race, if he does indeed win, James Watson has to finish outside of the top 10, which very rarely happens here in the Daredevil series. So he's going to have to do his job and get pretty lucky to boot as well. If Watson finishes inside the top 10, he is winning it no matter what. And Christopher Hill literally cannot get second or worse. He has to win to have a shot.
So that is a very particular set of circumstances. And it was set up not only by Christopher Hill's victory last week, but also James Watson's great podium finish after it was all said and done at 30 grueling laps at Spa. Watson executed quite well to get himself the best chance possible to take a second career Daredevil Series championship, but we'll have to execute, and we'll have to work through Christopher Hill as well here tonight, although he doesn't really have to. Watson starting in third, I guess, has options, but I would rather, as we've seen in the past, things don't get as crazy here as they do some other places with the Daredevil series, but they can get crazy. So Watson has the option to stay towards the front and put the pressure on Christopher Hill to get to the front and stay there. But he doesn't have to go very far, as it's Victor Aldrich who will take the pole position here tonight for round number 10 of the 5th season. Great to see this 98 up front. He has been closing in on what would be a first career Daredevil Series victory. Can that come after 75 laps here tonight? We will see. Christopher Hill then lines up to his outside. He's in a must-win. James Watson, his championship adversary, will start in third. TWR 1, 2, 3 on the grid. Dakota Domain will line up to his outside in fourth. Matt Schlosser and Brody Gunter on the third row. TJ Crampton, Martin Camano on run number 4. Austin Lafferty, Corey Rutherford, your top 10 starters. Ryan Dye and Drew White on run number 6. Christopher Kresge and Joshua Rutherford on the 7th row. Kenny Stepp, Paul Ellison on row 8. Zach Flaum, Matt Wagner, and Nicholas Isidro, your 19 drivers here tonight for the Season 5 finale at Gateway. About to be under the lights. Sun is continuing to set over turns 3 and 4. Matt, what are the weather conditions as we get ready to roll off the front stretch?
Yeah, weather conditions going to be favorable here for the drivers. 80 degrees is the track temperature at the moment, and not much wind to be had. Little gust of 3, 4, maybe 5 miles an hour, but going to be pretty good for the drivers here tonight. They are going to have to be careful on these cold tires, and what happened last time we were here at Gateway is the right rear was getting pretty warm. We saw some incidents from self-spin, so drivers going to have to be careful of that throughout this one. And this is such a unique track with very differing turns 1 and 2, and then 3 and 4, much quicker.
Yeah, Ashton, we always talk about when we come to Worldwide Technology Raceway, the two very different sets of turns. Even in a car with a lot of downforce like this one, and believe me, the wing angles are high on these Lotus 79s here tonight, it is a challenge to say the least.
Yeah, 1 and 2 always gave me a lot of problems. I'd always barrel it in there too hard and have zero exit, but definitely having a little bit of downforce is going to help that. But 3 and 4 seemed like, at least in qualifying, that you're pretty much just able to send it and get it going. So I'm going to assume that your only passing opportunity will be turn 1.
It very well could be. These cars love a tow down the straights. We'll see if anybody's able to set up moves down the straightaways and how well the bottom of turns 1 and 2 is going to come in as the sun continues to set over Madison, Illinois, with the St. Louis Arch behind the front straightaway, not very far across the river into Missouri. The 5th season of the Daredevil series, a celebration of Daredevil racing, will conclude after 75 laps here tonight, and a champion will be crowned. Victor Aldrich, Christopher Hill, James Watson, and Dakota DeMay. The front 2 rows barreling towards turn number 1 at Gateway. Aldrich from the pole immediately will slip back and puts James Watson in the middle of 3 wide. Dakota DeMay will roll out of it. There's a little bit of contact further back. Drew White, Austin Lafferty, and Corey Rutherford all got together, but still rolling as Hill and Watson, the championship protagonists, 1st and 2nd. Tiptoeing through 1 and 2 here on still very cold tires. Dakota DeMay threads the needle there with not much room to spare between Aldrich and Gunter.
And DeMay is going to make the pass happen through 3 and 4, but Aldrich fighting back, going to look to the inside down here in 1.
Schlosser's pulling up to the scene here as well. Oh, Drew White, Nicholas Isidro into the wall and crashing. I think White went up there first. Isidro with not a whole lot of places to go, and White missing the left front tire on this 15 car. That would be a quick exit for Nicholas Isidro, who did not have a Season 5 to write home about.
Yeah, unfortunately for Nick, that has happened a few times here this season. And let's take a look. Oh, Drew White bounces off the wall out of 2, comes right down into the 424. We'll have to go on board there with Drew. Surprised that he's struggling with that this early in the race, but that is something that typically will happen as the run goes along, is you'll try and get the power down and get a little bit tight up into the wall out of 2.
I will say it's awfully tight. The setup's awfully tight, rather, for the first few laps.
Let's go ahead and take a look. He's in major dirty air here as well. Ah, man, you can hear him trying to back out of it, and he's punching the gas, trying to use the throttle to turn the car, but to no avail. Still got up into the wall, but he entered turn 1 tucked in right behind somebody, and I have to believe the dirty air had a bit of an effect there as well.
Yeah, these setups, for the first 2 or 3 laps of that run, you're really going to be begging this car to get hooked up through 1 and 2. But after that, for the next 10 to 15 laps or so, it'll drive like a dream, and then after that, it'll start pushing again as that right front tire wears out. I heard of right front tire wear percentages anywhere from 85 to 75 through full fuel runs in practice. Is that a concerning number to hear at all, Ashton?
I wouldn't say so, no. I'd say around 30%, 35 is where you'd really start to worry. Because, well, the way that they model the tire, there is a cliff point to it. And pretty much every tire we have doesn't get there ever because they don't want people blowing them, I suppose. But yeah, once you get to around that point, then you start getting into a cording phase. But I mean, to be conservative, I would say like 50% you'd probably worry. But like, I mean, if you're not getting down that close, I'd say you're good. That probably wasn't the answer you wanted to hear, was it?
Well, I wouldn't want to see 30% on the board, or really even like 35 or 40. Really, 75 is just fine compared to that number, I suppose.
Well, who's making these setups?
I can't comment on that. 75 sounds great now that you mention it.
It's
Cool.
amazing. Yeah,
Yeah.
we're perfect. Full race.
Shout out to everybody that's in the chat right now. Haven't gotten a chance to say hello. We've been busy here early on in the broadcast, but of course Ashton was here. JJ Wang there in the chat as well as Don Golden and Joshua Rutherford. And Matt Wagner was there as well.
Christopher Hill doing what he needs to do. James Watson not cooperating. He's running in second. DeMade, Aldrich, and Gunter the top five.
Brody Gunter will take a look.
We'll take a dive to the inside, and we'll take that fourth position away right quick. Here's TJ Crampton, I believe, looking to make a move on Victor Aldrich to move himself into the top five.
Oh, you see him drifting up the track. They're a little bit Schlosser's
Whoa.
into the wall.
Youch. Crampton coming off that first career podium finish last week. Christopher Kresge making a pass on Austin Lafferty into turn number 3. So Kresge up tonight. Is Watson in second with the purple lap, and he is going for a move underneath of Christopher Hill for the race lead. He'll pull back to the line just as Gunter pulls out behind Dakota DeMade. And now here's Watson again to the inside in 3 and 4, and Watson will take the lead.
And
Hill will cross him right back.
Gunter gets through on DeMade for third here as well.
Side by side for a couple of positions at the moment, including the race lead. Hill now on the inside. Watson able to get some momentum on that outside. And will clear Christopher Hill.
Ashton, are you at all surprised to see Watson kind of battling that hard early on when all he has to do is get a top 10 here?
You know, honestly, not really. Just off the fact that, like, if I was in his position, I'd want to make Mr. Hill work as hard as possible and put him in dirty air. I mean, right now, he's got a battle. That's a compromising position. So no, I don't condemn what James is doing right now.
And Hill there in that dirty air had to check up out of turn number 2, and that's allowed Brody Gunter to pounce. Gunter and Hill, there's contact, and Gunter will get back into line.
I mean, that could have been it. That could have been game over for Hill right there.
And Gunter is now without momentum here. DeMade will get back underneath and try and at least slow down the 0-1 for the time being. The other factor here for James Watson, not only does he want to win the second championship, be the first driver to do so with the Daredevils, he hasn't won a race this season. And he has won a race in every season so far. So there's a streak to keep alive as well, although I'm sure he would settle for just a championship.
Do we have a stat on what his average finish is?
No, but I could tell you this much. He had a 34 race long top 10 streak.
Oh my gosh.
So it's pretty high. Here's Hill back underneath. And look at that around the outside. Watson. Top side might be the place to be. Oh, we've got trouble further back. Caution is out. Estep, Ellison, Rutherford, and Flaum. All with problems. I think it was Estep into Paul Ellison as he was trying to hold the bottom. And that will be race over for Corey Rutherford and Paul Ellison, no doubt. Ellison has been on a good streak of late. That will bring this to a halt.
Let's take a look. We've seen drivers on the bottom of 1 and 2 really struggle to get any turn. They've had to back way off when side by side. And Estep just gets, like, when he turns right down towards the rumble strips, you almost see the car get tight and immediately shoots right up the racetrack. You can almost see the moment that it happens right there. And at that point, you just have to back way out of the throttle, but sometimes that's not even enough.
Ellison is running it down low to try and get some good drive off. I do like how the wheel detached itself and within half a millisecond put itself back on. Only to get headbutt into the wall. Well, I just lagged out of the session for about 5 seconds, and I think I'm back. That's good.
It's all right. We're here to pick up the slack should you drop out.
Well, hopefully some of these drivers know they have admin privileges to throw cautions if that does happen. We had some pitters, of course, a couple drivers that were involved in that accident, but Bertie Gunter, Dakota DeMade, Ryan Dye down pit road, as well as the Rutherfords, who were both in that crash, and Zach Flaum as well. But Gunter from third and DeMade from fourth. That will now move Crampton, Schlosser, and Aldrich back into the top 5.
Big mover right now is Matt Wagner. He's up 10 positions into 8th. And from some of the oval races we've seen from Wagner this season, wouldn't be surprised to see him work his way up into the top 5. And maybe even further.
Yeah, I would say so.
I know this is like a really just out of nowhere question. I've always wondered this. Are the lines, like the little streaking lines every now and again on the racetrack on the top side, are those actually pink?
I think they're orange. Maybe
Okay,
they were
so-
pink when they scanned it, but I'm pretty sure whenever IndyCar comes, they repaint them orange.
Okay. Gotcha.
Maybe it's just
yeah.
the lighting.
I mean, they're like hot pink right now. So
Yeah.
I've been wondering that for a good like 5 minutes. So I appreciate that.
James Watson in control of the restart here, working his second caution. Lap 18 on the board this time. Watson with half a second lead at the moment. Dye and Flaum battling for 13th. A couple of battles behind them as well. But for the most part, single file for now.
Martin Camano going to look for a pass into turn 3. But Aldrich rails the outside nicely there.
Christopher Hill with a personal best lap. He is closing the gap back up to Watson here. As I think Corey Rutherford has cracked the wall, and indeed he has crashed on the track. But is back in motion.
Camano sizing up another run here, this time into 1.
You really got to have that move done before you get into the turn.
That outside right now is just so much quicker. You're able to hold all of your momentum.
Matt Schlosser's looking for a big run on TJ Crampton to try and get to third. And Hill is looking for the lead. Watson around the outside will maintain the top spot, but Hill continuing to inch his way forward. Hill this time might have a better opportunity to take it in 3 and 4. And he will. Watson will try to answer here with a crossover. And again, maybe not. Crampton has a huge run, and everybody will stay tucked in line. Again, that's no sweat off Watson's brow. He is still has the championship at this moment, even with Hill in the race lead. Crampton again electing to not to take that run on James Watson. Some team dynamics at play.
Matt Schlosser just took a little look at the indentation in the outside wall there on the backstretch.
Here's Watson. This track does have lights, right? It's getting pretty dark.
Yes,
I know
it has lights.
It does.
Watson is clear. I would have had him on already. That's just me, though. Hill to cross back over. As Kenny Step has gone for a spin. We're going to keep it green.
Here comes Matt Schlosser looking for third.
Thought maybe he'd have a peek at Watson there. But he's right where he wants to be on this inside, still with the positioning. Now here goes Watson. Watson looking to get through on Christopher Hill. Hill will cross him right back over.
Oh, Watson! Wow, nearly made contact with the wall.
I don't know if you could fit a sheet of paper between the 39 and the wall.
These two battling has brought a swath of cars here alongside some of those drivers inside the top 5.
Aldrich, Camano, Wagner, Kresge.
Camano's finally going to make that move on Aldrich with a bit of a pick there from the top line.
Here's Schlosser. About 3 wide. Crampton hanging on the outside. These are your podium runners from last week. Hill's got a big run, but he rolls out of it again.
I know Hill's got to worry about traffic now, but I feel like you got to keep working the inside and trying to force James into a mistake here.
Oh, contact! Wow, Schlosser and Camano.
Whoa!
Big time contact now. Schlosser in the middle of 3 wide.
Oh, more contact with Wagner there.
Whew. Close call.
Look at this. Schlosser right around the outside. He has a huge run right now.
I think he's the first one that I've seen to actually try to make the outside 3 and 4 work. Like, not just as like a defensive move, but to actually like make ground. It's definitely working.
I was gonna say, it seems like it's going well. They'll be pinned to the bottom here this time. Underneath of the pole sitter Aldrich. Triple lap from Matt Wagner. He'll take a lunge to the inside. Still going to be duking it out here.
Wagner with a huge send into 3 and able to still pretty much stick it to the bottom there.
It's Aldrich to his outside. Again, teammates. A lot of TWR at the front of this field. Oh, Corey Rutherford's hit the wall again. And he's in the
caution
middle of
is
the
out.
track. Yeah. Well, I think Corey's wanted to continue in this race, but he was parked in the middle of the track. So we'll have to throw the caution.
And he waits for everybody to go by here before he pulls around.
So there's the third caution. I don't know how to do math. We're somewhere close to halfway, I would imagine.
I'll take a look here in a moment.
It would be 30, 38, 37.
How many laps we
Maybe
got?
halfway.
70?
75.
Yeah, so it'll be 37 and a half. And Corey got up into the wall a little bit there, but it wasn't huge contact.
So from what I saw, it seemed like you could pretty much make it the entire way on fuel, like with a caution or two. So I don't really understand pitting here. I feel like you just lose track position.
Oh, it's 25% fuel capacity. So this is about the end of the window, but these guys, I think with a couple caution laps here, probably be good to go to the end.
Yeah, I think we were thinking roughly 40 laps for a fuel run.
Yeah, most I saw in practice was 39.
Oh,
So,
okay. Oops. My bad. Huh. That's got me really confused now. Because I went out and, like, burned some fuel to try to get a number. And it's spat me out 70 laps.
Yeah,
That's upsetting.
it must have given you a full tank or a half a tank or something.
How many gallons?
8.5.
That's how many they have in here?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Well, yeah, that's at 70. That's alarming. But that's okay. No problem.
Well, if it makes you feel any better, everybody's been down pit road at some point this race now. And I'm going to imagine these drivers are going to hope that this is their last stop regardless.
Christopher Hill and TJ Crampton have not been down pit road.
They didn't come down this time?
No, they did not.
Interesting. Okay. Well, I was going to say
So
Watson
Ashton-
definitely did.
Ashton may have something here.
He may have something. I don't know if it's that much.
Yeah, I mean, was telling you earlier, 5 hours of sleep, man. I have no clue.
Yeah, I watched Ryan Dye run out of fuel on the 39th lap of his run.
But didn't he also blow up into one on a
Yeah, on
random
like lap 14. Yeah,
Okay.
that's a fair counterpoint to that.
All kinds of crazy things going on here.
Yeah, go Hokies.
Well, hello to everybody that's watching. Appreciate everybody's continued support of the Daredevil series here on Turn 200. Looking forward to being back here next year. But this is the final ride of 2024. And it's been a pretty good one, as it always is here at Gateway. The lead has continued to change hands multiple times amongst our championship hopefuls. Again, let's set the stage. Christopher Hill has to finish first in this race to have a shot at the championship, and he needs James Watson to finish at least in 11th, if not worse than that. And we are slowly running out of cars here. We're down to 16 on the track. So if there's one big crash, you could potentially freeze out Christopher Hill from a championship if Watson doesn't do it for him. Christopher Hill, 3 times the winner here this season. His next victory will put him as the winningest Daredevil Series driver. Will that win be tonight, and will it be for the title? He's got control of the restart with Crampton, Watson, Schlosser, and Wagner, the top 5. We spread out here on the restart. Paul Ellison in the chat, hello.
Crampton tucked in right underneath of Hill. Will he make a move? No, not this time. Christopher Kresge and Victor Aldrich side by side here for 8th.
Brady Gutzer in that mix here as well. A nice run into turn number 1. But will it be enough with Aldrich on the outside?
Whoa, Kresge had to whip back way out of it on the bottom. Gunter is going to get through here as well.
Caught it in time, so he and Aldrich can keep racing, but that certainly is not ideal. What's not ideal for Christopher Hill is that TJ Crampton has a run, but again, Crampton not electing to make the move. Watson having to play some defense against Matt Schlosser here for 3rd. Schlosser will look underneath.
Wow, there's a huge gap from Zach Flaum. Now back to Aldrich, Gunter, Kresge, and company.
That'll be a little comforting to James Watson here, I would imagine. Because again, the magic number for him is 11th. He needs to finish 10th or better. I guess that's Hill's magic number. His magic number is 10. Schlosser trying to bridge this gap between the top 2 and the rest of the top 7. Oh, Christopher Hill coming down pit road. Man, that's not what you want to happen.
Well, I would imagine I would think that Watson and the rest of them that came in are probably good on fuel here. I mean, it was just a little less than halfway. And we're thinking they could stretch it that far, so I don't know, maybe Hill thinks they're going to run out and have to make a pit stop before the night is over.
He's going full lap down.
Yeah, that's pretty risky. We'll see if Watson starts to back his pace way off here in order to save some fuel, or if he thinks that he's good. TJ Crampton will give it the lead now. So Wagner and Watson now side by side for what is the second spot.
Maybe from Hill's point of view, he knows Watson is here in the top 5 and just felt like he had to take a massive swing and just hope that something happens. I don't know.
I definitely did not have a fuel mileage race on my bingo card for tonight. Or really ever for the Daredevil series, to be frank. So it's Matt Schlosser, the leader. Zach Flaum, who I want to point out has been in an accident tonight, running in second. I didn't mention it already. Austin Lafferty's locked out of the session. That leaves us with 15 drivers left running. As here goes Flaum for a move to the lead.
Oh, boy.
Leaders are running 28 threes and 28 fours. And Christopher Hills is running a 28-2. So they're not really backing their pace down any.
Well, another piece of this puzzle now, too, is that he's not the first car lap down anyways. TJ came in, and he gained about 2 seconds on him. So, yeah, that's a really dangerous position to be in.
And it's not like Hill is out of danger zone either here. He is right in the middle of that pack.
So a lot of things working against the 101 for the time being as Schlosser and Flaum are side by side for the race lead. Flaum moves ahead. Schlosser ducks underneath. Wagner, Watson, and DeMade all right here in the top 5.
Wow, Schlosser all the way down on the rumble strips to clear Zach Flaum.
I mean, these are 4 guys that really want to win. Watson also wants to win, but he's also thinking about the championship here. I'm sure he's content to just ride at the back of this line. At least for now. Schlosser back on point. Oh, Christopher Hill! I think he just hit the wall. May have had contact with another car. I think it was Christopher Kreski. but that was not what Christopher Hill needed, like you said, right there in the danger zone.
Yeah, all the lead lap cars were, I mean, they were having a fight with him, trying to get by him, and they were pretty much just battling back anytime they had drafts, so he was just constantly in some sort of battle there. That was very suboptimal.
So now Hill is about 2 seconds behind TJ Crampton in the battle for the lucky dog position. Schlosser and Flaum continue to duke it out here for the race lead. Flaum was incredibly disappointed a few weeks ago after Pocono when that victory did not go his way. Took the lead on the white flag lap and did not get to see the checkers. So he'd love to close it out with his second career Daredevil Series victory. Matt Schlosser is still looking for his first. It's hard to believe. He's won in just about everything on this channel except for the Daredevil Series.
He's got one heck of a fight on his hands right now with Zach Flaum.
And Matt Wagner as well. Wagner will race very, very hard. Every time. Oh, Schlosser into the wall. We are in the closing stretch of this race. Here's another move for Flaum. Wagner now. He might get them both. Flaum going to take him 3 wide. Oh, boy.
Schlosser.
Oh, no! Around! Flaum for a spin. And we're going to stay green. Trying to keep it pinned down there on the bottom. The right rear tire did not like that one bit. Here's Watson now fighting. We'll take a spot on DeMade. Looking to go underneath Wagner here for second. Well, I don't know. I still wouldn't be fighting. But here he goes. Wagner way up top. He's got a problem. Says he almost money shifted. So that would explain that. Watson now to the lead. Well, we just had a big contact between Kresge and Camano as this group is an absolute mess.
This is one heck of a pack. If something's going to happen, it's going to be with this crew right here.
I think so. Goodness gracious. They're making frantic moves everywhere. Oh, there it is.
No! Oh, my.
That was contact. I'm not even sure it was real contact, but it was between Dye and Gunter, and Christopher Kresge is going to get involved there as well. And boy, this is going to give us a restart with inside of 10 laps to go. The bad news is for Christopher Hill, he is not in the lucky dog spot. Matt Wagner said he shifted down to second, by the way, not just third.
Goodness.
How did that not blow up?
Hit the clutch.
Well, if we have any doubts about fuel number, this is going to go a long way in that. And honestly, I would say there's no risk in James Watson pitting from the lead if he's really unsure. But
let's take a look at the incident here. And on the back half of it, I mean, Gunter made like phantom contact with something. So I have to believe that netcode may be a factor here, because he wasn't really anywhere close to a car, and it was like he had gotten hit for a second time when there's nobody close to him. But let's take a look. Gunter up top there, and the yellow and black. Oh, yes. He started to, I don't know if he was just turning in or starting to get a little bit loose, but either way, his contact with Ryan Dye did not happen. Not saying they wouldn't have maybe touched wheels, but I don't think this would have happened. And then, this is what I was talking about. He, like, pseudo gets hit for a second time. His car just starts spinning sporadically with no other contact. I don't really understand that at all.
well, he's been having some interesting connection issues the last month or so, and it's affected him in pretty much every league. So I don't know what y'all got going on down in Florida, but you need to fix your internet. So that is pinned Christopher Hill a lap down. And it's really not left much of a buffer if something were to happen to James Watson here.
I'm baffled.
It's certainly, whatever the plan was, it has not worked out so far. It's going to take a lot for it to get whipped into shape. We do have one attempt at an overtime finish if we need it.
I mean, he's going to have to try and race his way into a lucky dog, hope a caution comes out, and then basically hope everybody crashes in front of him on the next subsequent restart.
Which is possible. The only driver that he'd be battling for the lucky dog with right now would be Corey Rutherford, as Crampton's gotten back on the lead lap.
But we are single file cautions here, or single file restarts, I should say. So the odds of cautions breeding cautions lowered by quite a bit.
I think we should do the old style NASCAR restarts next season where the lap cars pull to the second line on the inside. And lead lap cars all stay single file on the outside. That'd be interesting. I think that would go over like a lead balloon with the drivers.
Yeah, probably.
Sometimes it's not about them. Sometimes it's about me and what I want.
Wow.
But don't worry, we won't do that.
I'll talk to Ryan about that comment later.
Okay. What was that?
It's a great call.
I mean, you gotta have a little fun if you're the one in control of it all.
I mean, we could just have a live choose cone every week again, like we.
Where's Cody Claiborne tonight?
Where's Cody Claiborne? That's exactly.
Dang
right.
it, man! He was trying to register with a V probably, and we didn't put it in there. Too bad.
For those of you that don't remember, this was the track that the live choose cone was first introduced.
Here comes the choose cone. Indeed, stuff of legend. All right, here we go. James Watson coming to a restart. 7 laps to go. He just needs to not finish 11th or worse, and he'll have this one in the bag. Christopher Hill is in a world of hurt. Oh, they're checking up big time here on the restart. Watson playing some games. DeMade way out of shape there.
Look at
Schlosser
this
for the lead. I was kind of wondering if that was going to happen with how far out Watson got. Schlosser now on point. But we'll fight back here to the inside. .400 will have the run again. 5 laps to go. Purple lap for Zach Flaum in P7. Into the 27s.
Watson going to take another dive to the inside.
Classic Gateway. Schlosser will fight back. Wagner, Camano, Aldrich, and DeMade not too far behind. These purple laps popping up everywhere. 4 to go.
The 410 sprint car racing of asphalt. Oh, and Schlosser tried to block the move this time. Not going to work.
Here we go. Watson back underneath.
Does Watson return the favor?
Schlosser. Three to go.
With these two battling, Wagner and company starting to get a little bit closer.
Schlosser down to the bottom right away. Watson looking for a way underneath. Not going to find it, but he does get some momentum off this top side here. Nose to nose across the line. 2 to go. The Illinois green waving here in Madison. And here comes company. Wagner and Camano are here. Schlosser down to defend on the bottom.
Interesting moves by Schlosser. I feel like you want the momentum off the top coming to the checkered flag, but we'll see how it plays out.
They don't have the option as Wagner is on the scene. 3 wide at the line for the white flag. Last lap of the season.
Oh no! Watson taken out!
It's not going to matter in the championship, but Watson not in contention to win the race. The battle is still on for the race win. Schlosser and Camano, 2 drivers looking for their first win. Zach Flaum looking to steal from 3rd. Here they come to the checkers. Camano goes for a spin. Flaum with the run. He'll duck out of line, but Matt Schlosser will hang on for the race win. A messy final lap. I think a perfect summation of this season as a whole. Matt Schlosser will take his first career victory with the Daredevil Series. James Watson will finish in 10th, Christopher Hill in 13th, and that is enough for James Watson to claim a second Daredevil Series championship, and unfortunately does not have a car to celebrate.
And Schlosser's pulled down to the pits. He's not going to celebrate this win either.
Well, I can't imagine he's thrilled about the contact there with Camano, and we'll break this down here. But it is Schlosser with his first career and a long overdue Daredevil Series victory. Let's take a look at really that whole entire final lap there as Watson got taken out there with contact from a teammate.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about Wagner kind of coming into the picture with Schlosser and Watson battling, and it all came to a head here on the final lap. Wagner with a big run. He's got the room in the middle, so he decides to take it. And then contact with Schlosser. Let's slow it down. Both of them kind of dive to the inside. Wagner still moving down right there in the middle of one. Schlosser moving up just a tad. Contact between the two sends Wagner and Watson straight up into the wall. And then let's look at the run from Camano. Camano goes way to the outside. He's going to try and maybe cross it over, just get a big run off the top. Oh, and there's the contact with the back of Schlosser. And Flaum and Aldrich just were not close enough. Had a good run there after the contact, but no cigar. Schlosser's going to take his first Daredevil Series win.
That is unfortunate for Martin Camano, who had a great run there. And we'll talk to Schlosser about the final lap there, and we'll talk to all your podium finishers here tonight. As it's Schlosser with the win, Flaum in second, Aldrich in third, Dakota Tomato finishing fourth. And hey, you know what? Ryan Dye finished a race. And by God, he got a top 5 out of it. The streak is over, ladies and gentlemen. Thank the Lord. Sixth place for Joshua Rutherford here tonight. TJ Crampton in seventh. Kenny Stepp in eighth. Martin Camano and James Watson round out the top 10. Watson, no matter what, 10th place was good enough, but Christopher Hill is down underneath them there in 13th. It didn't matter anyways. Matt Wagner will finish in 11th. Corey Rutherford at 12th. Hill in 13th. Then DNFs from here on out. Christopher Kresge in 14th. Brody Gunter in 15th. Austin Lafferty in 16th. Paul Ellison, Drew White, and Nicholas Isidro. Your 19 drivers who elected to go for it here tonight at Gateway. Alrighty, we'll do your podium interviews first. And it is another podium for Victor Aldrich. Been racking them and stacking them on late on top of the pole position here tonight. Good night for you. Congrats.
Yeah, thank you. I was pretty happy with the pole. It's, I think, my first of the season, but yeah, really happy with another podium as well.
I mean, you kind of fell back there early, but you were up at the front of this field when it counted here tonight. What was the night like as a whole out on the track?
Yeah, so I always feel like, I don't know, it takes me a little longer to warm up my tires and get up to temperature like everybody else. And I was really tight in the beginning and just washing up the track, especially with all the aero wash, and starting on the inside on pole I wish I could have started on the outside, honestly, but starting on the inside kind of set me back right immediately. And then I was in that aero wash. So it just took me a while to get up to the temperature. And then, after the pit stops, my car felt great and I could hang with everybody without having to worry about lifting or anything. And I knew as long as I stayed with the lead pack, I could be there at the end. And unfortunately, I wasn't with the lead pack there towards the end, but that caution really helped and gave us a chance to, run for the win.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on another great run here. I mean, it was kind of crazy there. In the middle of the pack, you were kind of involved in all of it. I mean, everybody was kind of diving all over the place to try and make their own moves. I mean, how do you get through the chaos?
Yeah, it was really fun. I think this track is amazing for these cars. It's one of my favorite tracks we run with them. Some of those moves were really fun. I'm definitely going to add them to my highlight reel, my personal highlight reel, because that was really cool seeing a lot of those dives, and everybody kept it clean too for the most part, which was cool. And just really good racing, and I enjoy racing with all these guys every week, and look forward to next season already. I can't wait.
Well, great job here tonight. Great job this season as well. Outstanding stuff. We said it a couple times already here, but your time is coming here soon to get your first win. So looking forward to that. In the meantime, shout-outs for you as usual.
Yeah, I appreciate it, guys. First of all, thank you guys here at Turn 200 and everything you do, putting on the broadcast. Definitely one of my favorite broadcasts to watch, and love watching everything you do every week. And so also NRN, National Racing Network, Team Watson Racing, James, all my teammates there. Good job. Congratulations to James on the championship, and Chris as well with a great season. We had a great season overall, TWR. Also like to thank Martin Sports, Dizzy V Designs, and thank my girlfriend, my mom, and my co-pilot here, Reese, my dog. She's always here with me, right next to me, making sure we're winning. So big thanks to her.
Give Reese a good pet for me, and go celebrate another podium here. We'll talk to you again here hopefully soon.
Awesome. Thanks, guys. Can't wait for next year.
Alrighty, we'll talk to our good friend, the reigning figure 8 champ, Zach Flaum, is here in booth 200 with the hard charger and the P2 here tonight by 66 one-thousandths of a second. Great job here tonight. Congrats.
Yeah, thanks, guys. Wish I wouldn't have spun on my own going 3 wide, but I guess that made it an interesting comeback through the field. So
Not only that, but having to dodge a big crash right in front of you early in this race, it was a pretty eventful night for the 20 car.
yeah, there were a few where I had to like pull out my old dodgeball moves of duck, dodge, dip, dive, and dodge. So, or whatever the double one is. Yeah.
I mean, what were the specific challenges for tonight other than just not dying?
Oh, well, that was one of the big specific challenges. Honestly, dirty air wasn't that big of a deal, but you had to be able to set up the run to where you could clear the car in front before like midway in the corner. Either that, or you had to set it up to where you were like what I was doing with Matt on the front stretch when him and I were swapping the lead back and forth. Like you had to be able to get the run off the corner to clear him into one. So, but yeah, it was just kind of, I had to like diamond the quarter a little bit. I would take it, especially one, I would take the entry high and then cut down and try to get the run off better than the guys in front. So that helped to make some passes.
Matt, what you got?
Yeah, congrats on a great run. Great recovery as well. I wanted to talk to you about the incident and kind of how the car behaves. I mean, when you get kind of pinned down to the bottom there, I mean, do you know it's going to be risky to try and hold it all the way through 1 and 2? Or kind of what are your thoughts there going into 1, knowing that you're just going to have to stick to the bottom and trying to still get a run off?
Yeah, so I knew I was going to have to keep it tight on the exit of 2, and I did that too well, and that's why I spun, because I just kept the wheel turned too much. But the thought process entering it was, let's give them a show, and that's why I even sent it 3 wide in the first place. So, if it wasn't the last race of the season, I probably wouldn't have done it, but also it was the last race of the season, so I did it.
And it's Daredevil.
Exactly.
You had quite a few good showings here this season and did not get the finishes to go with them. This is a good finish to close out the season. I feel like unless I'm misremembering, you were on the podium for the season finale for last season as well, unless I'm mistaken.
Oh, where was the
Indianapolis?
Well,
you were either on the podium or you were being ridden to the line by Corey Rutherford and finished in 4th. I can't remember which one it was.
I feel like that was the case. I don't remember podium.
Well, you were close.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, regardless, it was a good run here tonight after a couple of disappointing races here this season with good runs and not good finishes. It's good to get to talk to you at the end of this one. So who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Yeah, shout out to you guys for all the awesome work you guys do. I know we've been doing a lot of work together with FSS, so make sure to tune in Monday nights for FSS at 8 Eastern, I want to say it is. 9 Eastern is the broadcast.
There you go.
And then, shout out to Sunset Arctic Games. Dakota's a great friend, and he does really good artwork for liveries and such, and also makes pretty solid games from what I could tell. So check out Echo Blade on Steam. You guys know the deal.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to miss the Formula Super Series race on Monday. From Chicago Street Prototype is the word on the street. So
yes, it will be prototype. The cup course is just far too bumpy. I know our engineer Jeff is having potentially the worst time of his life with having to set up a car, all because JJ Wang decided he wants to pick Chicago. So
shocking.
And now we drive Chicago in cars that are not meant to be around Chicago. But that's the fun of it.
Absolutely. Well, we'll look forward to that on Monday. Thank you for the time here tonight, and congrats on the P2.
Yep. Thanks, guys.
All right, we'll talk to Matt Schlosser finally as a race winner in the Daredevil series. It's been a long time coming, but tonight is the night that the 400 is on top of the box. Congrats.
Hey, Tommy. Thanks. Appreciate it.
Well, it was an interesting night for you. I mean, you hung around the top 5 pretty much all night after starting in P5, and then survived some of the late chaos with a couple of spins towards the front to bring this one home.
Yeah, it was. I mean, I'm happy about getting the first win. I feel a little bad about the amount of contact that happened on that last lap. I mean, I know we were 3 wide going into turn 1. I had every intention of wrapping the bottom as low as I could, but I was also sending it in about as hard as I could within reason. And I know I'd have to see the replay, but if I washed up into Wagner, I'm sorry. I know he took out Watson as well, and thank God that had no championship implications. And then coming to the line, Martin, I was trying to just kind of make my line unpredictable to make it hard for him to kind of juke me or just kind of take me like a sitting duck, and made contact with him as well. So sorry if anybody's upset about that. Like, I'd have to see the replay and really know what happened, but you know, I'd like to win these things by not getting in contact with people. But at the end of the day, it's fast, intense racing. I was just trying to go as hard as I could and get my first win, and I got lucky this time, I guess.
Well, Wagner claimed responsibility for the first incident there, and I mean, pretty through and through, I would say that the second one was more of a racing deal than anything. But maybe there would be differing opinions throughout the series on that. But I didn't have a problem with it, and I'm one of the top dogs here, so I'd say it's fine. Matt, what do you got for Matt?
Well, congrats on the first win here in the Daredevil series, but I mean, it's not a fluke. I mean, you were up front all night and swapping positions back and forth with multiple drivers throughout the night, all night long. I mean, what was it like? It was almost like a dirt track race, going for crossovers on each other, and right into the next corner, you were diving to the inside and sliding up in front of them again. I mean, what was it like out there?
It was a ton of fun. Like, I thought Indy was my favorite track for these cars, but I think this is now, and maybe I'm a little biased because I managed to win this thing, but it was freaking fun flinging it into turn 1 and letting it slide up in front of a guy, and then they'd cross you back up. There was so much you could do as a driver to control how that turn's going to go and what's going to happen on the next turn. And you know, it's a pretty cool track for sure, especially for these cars. So yeah, it was a ton of fun, and it just got faster as the track cooled and the tires were hot. I was really nervous I was going to fall victim to the right rear just falling out. I was not taking care of my right rear, and I was like, one of these times I'm going to pay the price, but it stayed together. I don't know if others had problems with it, but it was a fun track. You could really push and have a lot of fun with it.
Well, congrats on a long overdue Daredevil victory. Who do you want to thank? Who do you want to shout out?
Yeah, thanks to you guys at Turn 200 for putting the league on and broadcasting. It's been a lot of fun. Shout out to James for the championship. Congrats to him. He was very good all season, obviously. And shout out to Christopher for putting up a good fight. He obviously was really fast as well and just came up a little bit short. But yeah, you know, everybody in the league, really, it's a lot of fun racing here, and you know, it feels good to get a win. Excited for the next season later. I guess it might be early next year, but yeah, that's pretty much all I got.
Alrighty, partner, go celebrate the win. We'll hopefully talk to you again next Tuesday.
Yeah, and thanks for putting me at ease. I thought I was about to get like reprimanded for dangerous driving, but it sounds like I wasn't a total.
You've been noted by the stewards, unfortunately. Very sorry.
Yeah, I'll see Kevin Magnuson up there and probably somebody else.
Oh yeah. No, great job here tonight. We'll talk to you again soon.
All right, thanks.
Alrighty. We'll welcome in your championship battlers here now, and we'll have a word quickly with Christopher Hill. Things did not go to plan here tonight, although it started awfully good here tonight. First of all, congratulations on a great season. But second of all, talk me through the pit strategy there.
Yeah, that was a dumb move. I totally miscalculated how many laps there were left to go and how far we had to go. So I figured they were going to have to stop anyways. And then immediately afterwards realized I was, well, I was screwed. And I probably should have even pitted on the next lap, you know, just to not lose the lap. And yeah, I don't know. It was bad decision after bad decision, and then then got kind of unlucky there, while trying to get to the lead of the lap down guys, and got hit into the wall and damaged, and it just wasn't my night. But happy with the season, all things considered. I mean, for missing 2 races to be able to still finish in this top second spot there, can't feel too bad about that. James definitely deserving champion. Wish I could have battled him a little bit more tonight, but hey, live and learn. So,
Matt, do you have anything?
Just congratulations. I mean, you were the only person that was able to make a run at the championship tonight, other than, of course, James. And I mean, it was a fantastic season. Always love having you here, and I'm looking forward to seeing what you bring next season.
Yeah, I'm definitely looking for next time around. I love this championship. One of these days I'm gonna have some luck and actually pull off pull it off. So congrats to James, and thanks guys for putting it on. Hopefully next season's not too incredibly far away. So,
anybody else you want to shout out here?
Just as usual, thanking the guys at Team Watson Racing. Mentioned Precision Racing Instruction and such. If anybody's looking for some tune up, we can help you out there. And thanks a lot to you guys. And see you next time.
Sounds like a plan, partner. Thank you for running with us this season, and a great run as always.
Thank you.
And now, the first ever multi-time series champion, James Watson, is in booth 200 as the season 5 champion. I know tonight didn't quite go to plan, but then again, it kind of did, because you walk away with the big hardware at the end of it all. Congratulations.
Thank you. But yeah, ever the race car driver, I clinched a championship, and I'm still irritated that I got wrecked on the last lap.
I mean, that's been a bit of the story of the season. Maybe not the last lap, but racing at the front of the fields and not getting the results always to go with them. I mean, you didn't really ever leave the top 5 here tonight, and it's a bit of an atypical night for you, because usually at some point in the night you're towards the back half of the top 10, letting the carnage play itself out, but you were in the thick of it all night after a great qualifying effort.
Yeah, I didn't want to sit back. Like, I knew that I had a big lead, but I didn't want to just sit back and play it safe. I wanted to have some aggressiveness, as you saw by me taking it 3 wide going into turn 1. I wanted to be on the offense somewhat, especially because I knew that Chris was going to get the lead off on lap 1. So I wanted to make sure that at the very least I was right there behind him where I needed to be. And so because of that, and the fact that the fuel save wasn't as extreme as it is on some of the other races, I didn't really need to sit in the back. I could just, not have to worry about fuel saving and just be aggressive and just try to keep Chris close and try to see if I can end the season and with a win too.
Matt, what do you got for the champ?
Yeah, congrats on a great season here, James. I mean, ever consistent as always, and that's really the name of the season here that gets you the championship. I mean, you talked about being aggressive here tonight. Was there ever a time that you were maybe second-guessing that aggression, or thinking that, oh, maybe I made a mistake and need to back off here? Did you ever have a thought like that pop in your head, or did you just stick to the plan and play it out?
Yeah, when I was going 3 wide on lap 1, I'm like, this may have not have been the play. And then I pulled the move off and got up to Chris. I'm like, all right, well, this is how it's going to be then. Because, yeah, I did not want to, because with how bad the traffic was and the dirty air didn't play as much of a factor as I was expecting it would, but I had a feeling it would. And if I was going to be stuck in the dirty air, I wanted it to be in second behind my championship rival. I did not want to get hung up, risk losing more spots, and, be in a much worse position, especially since, getting tires up to temp aren't my strong suit. So if I can give others the dirty air while I'm trying to get my tires up to temp, that's kind of the strategy you always want to employ.
Well, it was a great season for you. You are the champion of Season 5 for the second time in your career. Congratulations. Shout-outs for you here tonight.
Yeah, gotta thank everyone at Team Watson Racing Setup. Use code WATSMAN39 for 10% off at checkout. Gotta thank everyone at the National Racing Network, Boomer Button Boxes, Martin Sports, Sim Racing Apparel, ZS Designs and Dizzy V Designs for putting together my paint schemes, and my folks for watching at home and supporting me.
Alrighty, partner. Congratulations on a well-run season. Go celebrate. We'll talk to you again here soon.
Here's hoping. Cheers, guys.
That is James Watson, the only two-time Daredevil Series champion. Matt, what a night here at Gateway.
Yeah, it's nice to hear that everybody is still high on Gateway for the Daredevil, the Lotus 79 and the Daredevil series. I mean, we have always thought that it's a premier place for this car, and I think in a lot of our interviews, everybody just backed it up here tonight, and they backed it up on the track as well. Spectacular racing here tonight. And James Watson, I mean, with the way the points are set up in the Daredevil series, it's not easy to win this championship without a win, and that's saying something about consistency right there.
Matt Kenseth with the championship. Ashton Crowder, what were your impressions on the night as a whole, if you're still with us?
Oh, no, yeah, I'm still here. Yeah, no, it was great. It was really exciting. I found myself muting my mic a lot just because I was being a bit too much of a fan. Didn't want to be super annoying. But yeah, if I'm driving the car or just watching it, the Daredevil series is really fun. And that can't always be said about every other series out there ever. So, yeah, it was a really good time, and I appreciate you guys having me in here. Hopefully I didn't annoy it up too much,
No,
I
it's
tried to...
always nice to have an exciting presence, and also a three-man booth always gets the job done here.
For sure, yeah. No, I like to be what's his name? Is it Steve Letarte? Yeah. Steve Letarte. Yeah, that's me. I can just give out random facts and pointers, and sometimes be completely wrong on strategy, which I was tonight. So,
yeah,
you're welcome.
I'm wrong on strategy almost every week, so it's nice to put a win in the column for me today. It's probably the only one I'll ever get. So, before we continue on and we do our usual closing business, I do want to make an announcement, and I'll make it again here in the Discord shortly. I don't want anybody to freak out. This isn't what you think it's going to be, but I'm going to tell you right now, the Daredevil series is going to be on a bit of a break. And this isn't a Truck 200 situation where it was shelved indefinitely and we didn't race for a year and a half. I'll tell you the date right now that the Daredevil series will be back. It'll be July 9th. July 9th will be the next Daredevil series race, but it's going to be a while. That's 10 months from now. So don't worry. We will have, and I'm not going to say what, but we will have plenty to do on Turn 200 in the meantime on Wednesday nights. So there's the hint. And I'm not just talking about ASRL, which will be back here soon. But we'll have stuff to do on Wednesday nights here on Turn 200 before too much longer. With that in mind, Mr. Matt Williamson, let's close up shop the way that we always do here.
Yes, thank you to everybody that was in the chat with us here tonight. GT Porsche, JJ Wang, Ashton Crowder, of course, Don Golden, Paul Ellison, let's see, Joshua Rutherford, and I think that was it. Thank you guys for tuning in and watching here with us today. I know there were lots of more folks watching that did not drop a chat here with us, so thank you for watching as well. And we got some playoff racing coming up.
That's right, Max V. Tomorrow night, the round one cutoff race at Bristol. We'll be live 9:15 p.m. Eastern time for that. Monday night, it's the Ghost Squadron from the Super Series from the Chicago Street Prototype. That will be live and in action at 8:45 p.m. Eastern time. Then it's Tuesday night for the Venom Truck Series Chase Opener. And that is from, where is that from? That's from Bristol, the None of Your Beeswax 220. So a lot of Bristol coming up here in the next week. And again, no Wednesday action next week. We'll be back with the ASRL Sports Car Championship with a new presenting sponsor for the upcoming season. It's the Eminent Signs and Graphics ASRL Sports Car Championship. October the 9th from Road Atlanta. That will be the new season for ASRL. You can catch us back on Wednesday night in a little under a month's time. That's all we got for you here tonight, though. Thank you to everybody with the Daredevil series. Thank you to all the drivers. Thank you. I almost said to the admin team, but that'd be me shaking my own hands and also shaking Matt's hand, which I intend to do anyway. But thank you to Matt. Thank you to Asher Crowder for hopping in here tonight as well. And thank you to everybody watching here on Turn 200. As always, we greatly appreciate it. That's all we got for you here tonight. Until we meet again here from Worldwide Technology Raceway from Gateway, I'm Tommy Cook saying so long. And congratulations to Matt Schlosser on a first career Daredevil Series victory. And congratulations to James Watson, the Season 5 Daredevil Series champion.